morning, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Look at this. Eileen King is already on. Good morning, Eileen. My God, you beat us, I think.
Hello, Eileen.
Good morning, and welcome to Viva Cafe con Leche. I am the badass Buddha, Lori Monaco, coming to you from a sunny but very cold Southern Connecticut. Still, so far, here in Southern Connecticut. It is the week of Thanksgiving here in the U.S., and we are rounding out, we're going into the last full week of November. Oh, my goodness. So good morning, everyone. Good morning, my beautiful co-host.
Good morning. Good morning. I know, you know what's scary is time is going by quicker than I remember it. You know, when you're a kid
I agree.
and you're a parent and you have kids, every Christmas comes around way too soon. Like you just paid off those credit cards. Now all of a sudden Christmas is back. But I don't know. I find the burrs really have gone by so fast.
Yes, I
Like I
agree with you.
remember posting Hello September. Like what
Yes,
happened? And then yeah, so then pretty soon is Christmas. Yeah, this is yeah, well we have a week and a half. Starting with
yes.
the date of
We have
November.
8 days left in November. Isn't that
Mhm.
crazy? That's crazy. So who are you? Oh my goodness. Welcome, beautiful.
Thank you. I am
Tell
very
everybody who you
tired.
are.
I am very tired, but I am Margarita, your gladiator guru here. Very festive. It's cold. It's been cold these last couple of days here in Tampa.
Wow.
When I cold um means like you'll see people in scullies and puffy jackets, but not that cold. But it's been cold. um, so this morning I didn't want to get up, and and the first person I thought of was a badass Buddha. Like, look at me, it ain't even that cold because I got the ceiling fan on. Can you imagine the people in Connecticut? So yes, this is me, La Margarita. Welcome on this fine Tuesday morning in November. The beauty of it that we will be airing this Thursday on Thanksgiving Day. I love that Viva wakes up and smiles even on holidays. I
Yes.
think that's the best thing we have. Hola, milagros.
Yes. Good morning, Milagros. I'm just sharing away. So if you could please like, share, follow, subscribe, do all that really fun stuff that we appreciate so much. We would love it. Just give me a moment so that I can do that. All right. Sometimes it helps, like every so often, some people will jump on. We would love it if we would turn on notifications, because if you turn on notifications, then you will always get there. You'll find us. So, anyway, all right. So, what is the actual temperature over here? Do you know what your actual temperature is? I don't even. I gotta check.
Yeah, my actual temperature here right now is it's 66.
And here it is 33. Oh, so we're wonderful. Our high today is going to be 49 degrees.
Oh, well, ours is 66 and it feels like 66.
All right. It
So,
feels like
but you
60.
know that's the beauty of, and that's what we talk about, excuse me, here on Viva, right? That's the beauty. I'm gonna get closer to the outlet. That um the differences that we all have, but the same commonality that we all share. And I think that just the whole thing with the badass Buddha and I, you know, was done on purpose because we're women, so that makes us the same. We're mothers, that makes us the same. We're entrepreneurs, that makes us the same. Our upbringing, um, totally different with the parents and households and all of this kind of stuff. And I'm just saying that's why this dynamic was phenomenal. The gratitude in accepting people where they are at the moment and inviting them into our lives. And then the tribe, Tiffany, Brian, how are you? Good morning. Give your mama a kiss for me.
Yes.
And that's what it is. We're all in different places in our lives, but yet look at how we all come together every Tuesday and Thursday. So that's the beauty of being who we are and being able and capable to show up for ourselves and feed our spirits what it is that is needed. And even then share in it. Share comments and inspire and uplift other women you see on this show. That's what this is about. That's what I'm grateful for today. Is the reality of, you know what, it doesn't matter. We still wake up and we show up. So thank you for that. I am the gladiator guru all day.
So she's getting ahead of ourselves too. So today's show is Are You Ready? And then on Thursday, it is the ultimate day of gratitude. It's actually called the official day of gratitude. But we know that the entire month of November is the National Month of Gratitude. And it is also the National Month of um, inspirational role models, right? And so, oh, Victoria Mercado is in the house. Good morning. We love having people jump on. Good morning. And I want to mention something.
Look at her
So
picture though. Victoria. Look at her picture. She just looks so
beautiful, right?
beautiful.
Beautiful. Oh,
Look.
she is. Look at her. So I want to I was scrolling, right? I don't usually scroll too often on social media,
Hmm.
but I was scrolling, right? And we had last year we had Sandra Valls come on. She's the
Oh
comedian.
yes.
She's a comedian out of she was calling in from Texas, which was great. But she's a professional comedian in the Latina community, and they had done. There was a group of Latina comedians that had done multiple specials, and they actually put out a new one for this year. So it happened to pop up on my feed, and I've been making sure that Viva, we like and we're sharing it and all that. So it's the 2022 Latina Christmas special, and it's a very interesting cast of people, and Sandra Valls is one of them. And so I'm actually going to reach out to her and see if we cannot get them to come on to the show to maybe promote it. Although we know something very good, something truly specific about comedians is they're not morning people. And then especially when you get people that are on the West Coast, they definitely are not morning people. In fact, they might just be going to bed when we start, which might actually work if that's the case, because they keep such late hours. So perhaps we'll see if we could coordinate something. I don't even know if she would have time or if the rest of the cast would, but we'll just try to put that into play for early December. And we might even have to do a special evening one if possible, or pre recorded or something like that, because we would love to have them on. And especially because, when we were talking with Sandra, that was all really when COVID was still really prevalent, in the sense of things were still closed down. And it was very challenging for her as a comedian to really do her job, because so many venues had shut down or they were very restricted. And
Yes.
she had gone home, remember that, and she was taking care of helping out with her dad. And so it was so great to see her being goofy with all the rest of the group. So we'll definitely reach out to her and see how she's doing and see if she can come back on, and maybe some of the other women. So
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
Linda McBee in the house. Good morning, Linda.
Hello, Linda.
You. All right. In addition, we want you always remember, like we have our little sign there, like, share, follow, subscribe, turn on notifications so that you know that we're on, and let everybody know that we're on, because we are here this week. While you are cooking and getting everything ready for Thursday, turn us on, have us on in the background so you can hear. We're going to be talking about gratitude that whole entire time, the power of gratitude. Today, we're going to be talking about Are You Ready? Preparing for the holidays, preparing for the end of the year, preparing for being with your family and friends that maybe you don't want to be with.
And
So we're going
preparing
to
for
talk
your
about
new
that.
beginnings.
Yep, new
Because
beginnings.
that's just as scary as
Yep.
preparing to complete something.
Hmm. And we want to put it out there to you and to share with anybody else, right? Because we can, because it's our show and we could do this. So we want to know if you would be interested in becoming an author on the next volume of Her Badass Story. Her Badass Story 3 is coming out the end of February. We're still looking for authors. That will close out at the end of this month, specifically November 27th, but we were actually going to push it to November 30th. And the reason we close out looking for authors, because we want to be able to make our deadline of February 27th for the release. So that means that everybody's going to be writing their stories throughout the month of December, and then it gives us a chance to edit everything for January and have everything going. So maybe this is the right thing for you. Maybe it's for somebody else, but definitely share it. And I'm going to put the clickable link on the comments. And when you click on that, you can just go ahead and share that with somebody else. If this isn't the right thing for you, but you never know. We already have some phenomenal women that have signed up, and we're very excited. And I think the coolest part is we get to meet so many different women from all over the place. Women that we never even knew. In the beginning, we knew some of them, and then we knew a few on the second one. But this one is turning out to be like, I'm meeting like totally new women, and it's incredible. So if this is something that you think you want to do, definitely join us.
I think as an author, I love being a part of Dr. Lori's compilations because, although the women came from all over the place,
Dr. Lori, she's so
we
fun.
didn't meet, but we shared. And let me tell you something, leaving a legacy isn't how much money you have in a bank and how much inheritance you're going to leave your kid. It's leaving a legacy for that your kids can say, open a book and read something about you, read something about their family, their ancestors. And I think that's more richer than any amount of money that they're going to blow through, buy something and then not want it. Think of leaving a legacy. And I'm reaching out to my sisters of color. We need more of us, more of our Afrocentrics, our Caribbean queens. We need more of you to continue the legacy of our grandfathers, sitting with them and them giving us stories of the past. That's how a lot of passages have survived today, is through storytelling. So let's write that chapter. Let's start somewhere. You want to write a book, but you haven't known why, and you wanted to write a book for years. Start with a chapter in a compilation. Meet other women, share with other women, and then set out and become that author you want to be. But you cannot start something unless you make the first step. So reach out and figure out how you can do this. We're there to help you every step of the way.
Yes, we are. That's right. We're doing something really different too with this particular volume. So please know that, we're here to help. And the thing is, you do, I love how you said that, Gladiator, you create a legacy. It is written, and maybe this starts the whole process for you. Maybe just sharing one chapter, one story kicks you into play. I was just getting ready to fix something on my Facebook here, and where did it go now? Of course, I hate that when it resets because I just lost it. But I just had noticed that. Oh my God, where did she go? Oh my goodness gracious, I can't stand when it does that. So our friend Maritza, who is Thrive Coaching, right? She posted a beautiful picture of a woman's book, and it's from a best-selling author. And of course, that book, it's a Latina woman, PhD. But of course, I lost that because for whatever reason it reset my feed. And I wanted to mention it because it was just so. It was such a striking cover and title. And these are the things that could really change a person's life. Think about some of the books that you've read that have been life-changing for you. If you could be a part of that and change somebody's life, then, why not be a part of it, And again, that could jumpstart it. Maybe you didn't even know you were going to make a career out of being a writer, but you said you did one chapter and then all of a sudden you got bit by that bug. So we encourage you to reach out. If you click on that link, it will lead you to the page that gives you all the information. And then it will also have a little button there to set up a call with me and we'll talk about this. And there's no pressure. If this isn't the right time, it's not the right time. But we'd still love to hear from you and hear about your story. So good morning. Wanda Stover is in the house.
Hello, Wanda. Oh, Petey, I love that. Let me tell you that whether it's a chapter or not, whether you're telling a story that you never shared because of shame, guilt, or just frightened, it doesn't matter. Do you know how I feel? 1, 2, 3. Do you know how I feel when I walk in my grandson's room, who's a gamer, 16 years old, and he had my son-in-law put up a shelf in his room just to hold my 5 books, 2 which are the compilations, just to hold that, and a picture of us at the like a bookmark. And then you have my granddaughter who has her art room that has mixed my art in with her art, and I think she's a way better artist than me. And she has my books held high on her desk where she does nails, so that it'll be a conversation starter when she has people. Now, the stories I shared in the compilation, one of them was really hardcore, and it was written right before my pro-choiceness, right before Roe versus Wade set us back 50 years. So what I'm saying is that tell a story, because if my grandkids are so honored that I'm so real and that I speak my truth, that they love it. So imagine your grandkids if you're sharing something of your past that speaks of their ancestors. I mean, this isn't only your story. This is a legacy you're leaving moving forward, but it's also connecting your past with who you are and showing it so that the people you love can understand you better.
Yeah.
There's so much more than to writing and being a part of a compilation to start off with than it is just saying, oh, I got a chapter in a book. No, there's layers and layers and bountiful of beauty that you leave behind. So instead of leaving a stain, leave a mark.
That's right.
And if it is in black and white, but let those pages dance when the reader comes through it. Now, this is what you're talking about. This is a beautiful
Yes.
book.
Yes.
Now, for those who have read this phenomenal book that I have owned, and my granddaughter just took it, but I've owned it on my bookshelf for over 10 years, and I read it. I just couldn't read it anymore because the print was real small. Is Women Who Run with Wolves. She is the author of that, this person. Now, any strong-willed feminist woman have read Women Who Run with Wolves. It's phenomenal. If you haven't, get it. But let's see if they have the bigger print, because the older we get, the less we see.
And what's their newest book? That's the one that
Immaculate Love for the Wild Soul. So I'm getting this one now.
Immaculate Love for the Wild Soul. Just think about that title, right? Think about that title. Like, that's what struck me, and I love the picture. I love the picture. That's what I was
Immaculate.
trying to find. I couldn't find. Thank you for finding it.
And I love that the Latina, as you look at the face, she looks Latina, but she's dressed like Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners.
Yes.
And so
yes,
it's who you are that pours out onto the pages, who you are that creates this piece of art. It's who you are that you believe in yourself enough to know that those who love you will follow you. So take that leap. Let me tell you, I'm gonna show you something. Where is it? That thing, Lori, thank you, because that was a beautiful cover. I love the colors and everything.
I know.
And then I'm gonna show you a color one that is no color, but is
well. You
vibrant.
keep talking. You keep. Oh, you got it
This
already.
is
yep.
This is my new book cover.
Yay! And by the way, each of those little things say something.
They each say, "Come hug me," all around the body. Come hug me. Come hug me. Come hug me. It is my original artwork as well. So I thought I'd put it out there. That book will be coming out soon. What I'm saying is believe in yourself enough to know that the words that flow through you is like the river that flows into the sea. It only flows one way, which is forward. and it's slow and steady, and that's how we need to live our lives, to appreciate everything in it. Slow and
Mhm.
steady, and then we end up in the ocean, this vast ocean. So how you live your life flowing down that river is what counts. Make it count. And I don't say this just to get somebody else on the book. What I'm saying is, we women have so many phenomenal stories to tell. We Latinas, we beautiful Nubian queens, we have it. Let's stop talking about it and be about it.
Mhm. And listen, this is a good segue into today's conversation because we're talking about are you ready? So what we'll do is it's a very open statement, and we're gonna get into the we're gonna get into the details of it. So let's do our before I have to go out to the bus stop, let's do
She's not
our set
off.
our intention. Huh?
She's not
She's
off.
off early dismissal today, tomorrow, and then she's off the rest of the week. So here we
Oh.
go. All right, we're going to do our set our intention, and we're going to do our mantra. So our intention, as always, for on Viva Cafe con Leche is to today be intentional. Set your intention for whatever it is that you feel is important to you to set. Set it now, set it after the show, set it throughout the day. You can set as many intentions as you want to. The goal is to, or the idea is that when you set that intention, that you follow through with it. And the way you do that is
By being grateful. Be grateful. That's it. I mean, what more can I talk about gratitude? Listen to the words. Even as you say it, it should dance on your tongue. Be grateful. I am grateful. I am filled with gratitude. Remind yourself every day. Stop saying, I'm fat. Oh, this. Oh, look at this. Oh, look at that. Just, I am grateful. Somebody mentioned to me yesterday, oh, you were thinner back then? Girl, we all were thinner back then. And
I
I'm
know
and
I
I am
was.
I am so loving myself right now. Just be grateful that you can look in the mirror and make a choice to love yourself or leave a bad taste about yourself to yourself. Who does that? We all do it. So let's be grateful. Look in the mirror today and remind yourself, I love you, Margarita. We're going to have a great day today. Just do it. After the show, do it.
Yay. All right, now here we go with our mantra. Say it loud and say it proud. Viva Tribe. I am a disruptor.
I am a disruptor.
I am unapologetically courageous.
I am unapologetically courageous.
I am spiritually grounded.
I am spiritually grounded.
I am magically orgasmic.
Ole.
And I am beyond authentic.
And I keep it real.
Keep it real, people. It is about you. It is about you being you. And that's the only person that you need to show up to be. And that is the way that you exact change in the world, is by showing up as yourself, being proud of it, being honest with yourself. If there's things that you still feel you need to work on, then you know, because you are being honest with yourself. And change is it excites people. When people see change in you, they will also be inspired to create change within themselves. So Kimberly Sanchez, we haven't seen you in so long. Kim in the house.
Yes.
And Danessa Pacheco. Danessa.
Hi, Vanessa.
Danessa on the show. Woo!
Listen, what
it.
did you just say?
I don't know what I say. I don't know.
I got excited when I saw Kimberly and Danessa. So I was going to just say something when you said, what were you just talking about?
I was just saying that you can inspire change in other people by making change within yourself.
But before you do that, hold yourself accountable to yourself. I have been meeting people and I'm like, God, why you bring me to work? Why you had to make me work, right? It's a joke that I have with Father God. And I'm looking at people and they're saying one thing with their mouths and they're acting another way, or they're not saying anything. And what did you just say? Honestly, what did you just say? Oh, so there's so many people who don't hold themselves accountable and they're claiming to be this and they're claiming, you know what? Just hold yourself accountable to be the best you can possibly be.
Yes.
We're going to have bad days. We're going to meet people who are going to come to us. But guess who's our worst enemy? Ourselves. We overthink things. We self-doubt. you know what, enough for the rest of this year, and then we'll talk about it heading into the new year. For the rest of this year, be so in love with yourself. You know how when you fall in love with somebody, nothing else matters? Be that for yourself starting today. Today is the season, the best season of the calendar. It is Sagittarius time, baby. So
Yes, ma'am.
be the best. Be the best that you can possibly be for yourself. Love yourself. If you're going to eat that piece of pie, eat it with no guilt. Stop body shaming yourself. If you're not going to eat the pie because you know it's not going to sit right, then make that decision. But let it be your decision. And then at the end of the day or the next day, you're like, damn, I should have ate that pie. Then you know how to eat half of the pie. What I'm saying is show up for yourself. Love yourself in totality, and then start learning what it is you need to do to be better in the new year. But let's start today with just saying, I am so in love with myself. Just like when you fall in love with an asshole and you put blinders on, be open about that love that you're giving yourself. But give it. No self doubt, no overthinking. If you're going to do something, do it. If it turns out good, great. If it doesn't, you learn something. But enough. You
You know,
cannot give out to anybody what you're not giving yourself.
I thought about something you just said. You said when you fall in love with an asshole, take your
We
blinders
wear
off.
blinders.
Use your nose. If it smells like ass, then be aware of that and then make it, like it's that. I mean, I think back and go, God, I had a lot of ass smell around me. So I was definitely around a lot of assholes.
I just
Just
think
think of it
enough
that
of
way.
giving of yourself and meeting assholes. Stop giving yourself away and give into yourself. That
Yeah.
should be like for the rest of the holiday season. There's going to be family. There's going to be events. There's going to be work. There's going to be Secret Santa at work. You got to buy gifts. It's going to be a lot of stuff that's going to make you angry. It's going to keep you in a gloomy thing. Don't do that. Fall in love with yourself. And if you're already there, then congratulations. Keep going. If you're still working on something, if you thought you were too busy, but then you have the assumption and the expectation that everybody should love you, love yourself. Just love yourself where you are right now. If you're fluffy, if you're fat, if you're too skinny, if you're in between, I don't give a shit. You shouldn't give a shit. You are the only person that shows up for you every single day, whether you're sick or not. Every day, whether she's sick or not, Lori got to walk to that bus stop. Whether she's on an important call or not, Lori got to walk to that bus stop. That's how it is with loving yourself. When you're committed to being there for somebody, be that somebody you're committed to first. And then when you're there for everybody else, it flows. Good morning, Stephanie Nieves.
So
And
before I go off to the bus
congratulations,
stop,
Kim, on your first
yes.
grandchild.
So before I go off to the bus, we'll get the conversation going. So today's conversation is, are you ready? We have 8 more days till the end of November. Then we have December. December, is going to fly by. And before we know it, it's the beginning of the year. So this is the time. We've been prepping you for this since September. This is the time for you before, oh my God, I got to stop doing that. Before it gets crazy busy, you have got to sit quietly and just look back at your year, at yourself, look ahead to what's coming, even with holidays, and really just ground yourself and say things like, how did I do this year? How did I do the things that I set out to do? What's left of the year? What change can I make? What things can I do? Who am I? All these like really deep questions. And the reason we want you to think that way is so that you get into that headspace to prepare yourself for January. Also, to not go ape shit in December and spend like gobs of money and then regret it in January. We want you to be grounded. And so, are you ready for, did you achieve? Are you ready for the big changes in your life? Did you fall short? So on and so forth. I will leave you with that. I will be right back.
Falling short happens all the time when we overexert ourselves. Holidays, Christmas isn't about the best Christmas gift for your kid. It's about making memories with them. If we really learn that being great means being present, then we wouldn't go crazy with all this shopping hoopla that happens. Your kid will open a gift or play with it, yeah, 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 and then put it in a corner. But you doing things with your kid, you creating things with your kid, you being fully present for yourself where Shem flows into them, that's priceless. That's something that 20 years they're going to sit with their siblings or their cousins and they're going to say, remember this time when on Christmas morning, instead of opening gifts, we did this? Those are the memories. That's the legacy you live. Sometimes we go just stupid with all the new toys that come out and we just want to appease them so that we can be a good parent. Oh, my mother got me the latest this. You know who I say keep it simple like when we were kids. We were happy we got a life-size coloring book and crayons or a baby alive or something. Did it ruin our lives that we didn't receive all the new things for Christmas? No, it doesn't. Do I think back and say, remember this Christmas when we had nothing, but mommy did this? Those are the ones that I appreciate because half the shit I got for Christmas, I don't remember. They were things. So love yourself, and loving yourself, you can handle any situation. Don't go crazy from here to the end of the new year. The new year, it resets. You reset it. I told you last new year, I've been living my life in quarters, and every quarter I say, I'm going to do this, and I do it. And we haven't spoken about it, but every quarter up until now, I have accomplished everything I wanted to do. Whether I saw it through, I initiated it. And maybe my initiation was to start it in July, but it was to complete it at the end of November, whatever quarters are coming. The thing is that I'm holding myself accountable to complete it. And that has been no chaos. And so I'm thinking we got to just shut up all those voices in our heads telling us what we need to do and what we should have done and how we could have done it and what we need to do. Stop thinking about what happened yesterday and what may happen tomorrow. Just live for today. When you do that, you have clarity. You unfuck your brain and it's clear. And you can write down today what's happening today. Well, let's start with what I learned from yesterday, what I plan to do today, which should, or how I'm feeling today with everything that I accomplished in my yesterday. That should take the majority of the page, and then maybe a one-liner of what you're looking forward to do tomorrow. Then tomorrow, that one-liner ends up creating this beautiful you in a new day and getting you closer to what your end goal is. But stop living in tomorrow. Stop getting stuck in yesterday. And if you're fully present in today, you're going to love yourself with all the chichos, you know, with all the wiggly, jiggly thighs, with everything that you are, because you're getting up and you're walking and you're working towards the life you want to do. That weight will come off. Start loving your body. Stop covering it up as if you're ashamed of it. Stop buying all these clothes that hide you behind it. Stop buying all this makeup to cover up your sadness or that's disdain because you've gained the weight or you're too skinny. Just be. Tranquilamente be. Show up for yourself. Hold yourself accountable to your thoughts and how you're treating yourselves before you go accusing someone else of treating you wrong. And love it and then start preparing. Doesn't mean you don't plan for tomorrow. Just means you don't have a foot in there yet. And then start planning and leave that legacy. Let's see what Danessa said. That is exactly why this year I am gifting my niece and nephew and little cousins experiences. So tickets to the museum, tickets to their favorite arcade, tickets to the movies, so that they can create memories because toys they throw away. Absolutely. Absolutely. Let me tell you something. People always thought I was a harsh parent, Danessa. But one year, I think my kids, and we still talk about it right now. I think my daughter was about 11 and my son was 6. And they were like misbehaving prior. And I said, if your report card comes back, my son was having problems in school. My daughter thought she was a Billy Badass. I don't know. I kept saying, if this last report card before Christmas comes out bad, you're going to get it, right? They thought I was playing. It came out bad. They were bad, misbehaving. So for Christmas, my son got his PlayStation he wanted. My daughter got her little stereo set she wanted. They got everything they wanted. I remember Tiffany asked for ice skates because we used to go to um, New York ice skating. Little trinkets. And guess what I did? That year, I told them, you know, you cannot behave and not pay the price. I had them unwrap their gifts, but I told them not to open the boxes. And they were like, ooh, and eyeing, right? And I said, you like all your gifts? They said, yeah. And I said, okay, rewrap them. We're donating it. They cried. They were so wounded. And we went to the hospital and we donated it to the kids in the hospital. And they still talk about it. I can't believe you made us do that. But they smile because then later on, after the whole thing, they learned what it was about gifting and what were consequences to their behaviors. So that's what I'm saying. Hold yourself accountable to your own behavior towards yourself. That's going to open a whole whirlwind. And when we start talking about the January stuff, you're going to already be there with us.
Yes. Yes, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Just catching up here. Just catching up. Good morning.
Neo Prima, Gorgeous, and Georgianne. Kimberly, that's right. And you know what? Because people think that being a good parent is being your child's friend. Being a good parent is giving into everything they want. Giving a good parent is saying, "Ay, bendito," but they don't have anybody, so I'm going to let them do this. No.
Uh-uh.
Mm-mm. Being a good parent is being a badass and is letting them know these are the rules. This is what you need to do, and for their age group, and holding them accountable at a young age so that when they grow up, they're not these sensitive, I can't believe this type of person. They're going to know, well, if I do this, I'm going to receive that. And you can do it. It happens. I tell you,
Yep.
my kids are 36 and 32. And they each have their own kids. And if they ever act out of way with me now, I'll drop them where they stand. That's how I raise my kids. And they can say whatever they want about me, but they ain't never said nothing to me, so I'm good, right, Stephanie? And that's it. And I'm a proud mama who's never gonna win any Mother of the Year awards, and that's okay because my kids are who they are, and I am who I am, and that's how I chose to raise my family. So I cannot blame society for any fuck ups that they do. I cannot blame the environment. It's what they chose to learn and what I chose to teach. And that's how it is. Because if you teach them well at home, they won't be swayed by the people on the outside.
Yes, I agree
And I
with that.
speak this of experience.
I agree with that
I was
wholeheartedly.
raised on believe nothing of what you hear, half of what you see, and everything on what you feel since I was a little kid from my dad. And guess what? You can't believe nothing of what you see because there's three sides to every story. You half of what you hear because you don't know when did you walk in or when did you start listening to whatever was going on. So it is half of what you hear, but your gut will never steer you wrong. Help the kids
Yep.
start learning about financial stability, get them stocks or other forms of ways to save and budget. Yeah. I think schools are starting to teach that. Was it you who told me, Badass Buddha, that they're starting to teach the kids how to write checks and everything? In school?
I
Oh,
might
yeah, you
have,
told
but
me.
it depends on the school. Really does depend on the schools. Not all schools are
And
into
I
that.
heard that penmanship was coming back. Cursive
Oh, good.
writing.
I hope so.
Again, in certain schools in certain areas.
So, getting ready. Are you ready? Again, even with, I know I walked out and came back into the conversation with Gladys. You were talking about, parenting and all that stuff. And in the end, that all still stems around the fact that you need to be who you are and you need to be true to yourself,
You
and
do.
so it's all about awareness. It's all about accountability. It's all about saying, okay, I fell short here, but I really rocked it here. And what do I need to work on still a little bit? And we're always a work in progress. We're always building on. And I think sometimes what happens this time of the year is it's almost like we give ourselves permission to just not pay attention because we want to be the person that rocks it for the holidays, and we want to, I want to get this and they asked for this and blah blah blah. and I'm going to do all the cooking, and I'm going to have all this and blah, blah, blah. And then next thing we know, we get into January and we go, what the hell just happened? I'm broke. I'm starting off and I feel like crap because I just ate all the wrong things for this last 4 weeks. And now I'm going to like, that's it. I'm going to do something different. And then they start off, and then by the end of the year, they're doing the exact same thing they did the year before. That's why it's so important for you to take a moment before we get into all this craziness. Okay. Today is Tuesday. Some of you are going to be going crazy even starting tomorrow, because maybe today you're going to do your food shopping, and then you're going to start your cooking tomorrow, and then you're going to be cooking all day Thursday. You have got to take a moment, just a moment, and sit quietly and just reflect. Reflect on your year, reflect on yourself, reflect on how you did, and then think about who you are right now, and how is that going to translate into the next 6 weeks that we have left of this year? And then how is that going to translate into the next month? We have this mixed thing sometimes with the holidays. We're thrilled about the holidays. We don't want the holidays. We're happy to have family. We're not happy to have certain people in the family coming to visit or seeing them. You have to just sit with this. You have to really, really balance who you are and what's important to you, and not end the year or start the new year by being like, okay, I don't know what the hell that was, but I got to do better. Because unless you are aware of it, you are not going to change it. It's just not going to change. It's going to be the same thing over and over again. And you're expecting a different outcome. That's that path to insanity, expecting the same thing, doing the same thing over and over again, and expecting a different result.
Well, let me tell you how that happens, how that sanity happens. Insanity happens. People will read something and hear something, and then they'll speak about it, but not do it, not live it, and think they're making a change because they're speaking out about it. You can't, listen, let me use something on Iris's thing. And if you feel they're not doing something the right way, you can guide them, but you cannot go and fix it for them. There are many ways of enabling. Exactly. But we can't say that and feel good about saying that, and then go back and do a 180 and turn our backs on something, or continue doing what we're doing.
Right.
Again, you have to hold yourself accountable if you want any real change to happen in your life. Any real change. So I get what you're saying. Don't eat anything that's going to make your body sick. Your body has never betrayed you. Never. When it gets sick, it's to sit your ass down because you're doing too much. So the only way you're going to sit down and stop is by sitting down by force. And your body does that for you. Your body is your best friend. And we shame it. And we bully it. And not to mention if other people have abused it, and then you come and bully it and shame it. You know what? I know my ideal weight is not where I'm at, but I also know I just did a lot of self-isolation and healing for the trauma in my soul, and in clearing my thoughts of that negative self-talk. So my body became my protector once again, but the weight is coming off slowly. And it is what you choose to eat and what you choose not to. But this is the holidays. You worked hard all year. If you want to eat that pumpkin pie on Thanksgiving, or me, my favorite is coconut custard, use
discernment.
judgment.
Your word.
Yeah.
Use your word.
Have one piece. Don't have half the pie.
Exactly. It's an awareness.
Yes.
It's an
And
awareness.
so and that's what it is. It's being aware and holding yourself accountable. Nobody else is going to do it for you. So stop using words that you heard somebody else say or you read. Feel the word first. And if you feel you can live that word and you can practice that word, then share it, because it'll come out of you naturally. But don't use a word just because you heard someone else say it, because then it has no attachment to you. And then you're tricking yourself to believe you're doing something that you should be doing, but you're not doing it because you really haven't sat in it. It might sound mean, but it's really not. It's fucking reality. You know, you can't go buy a knockoff of something and then sport it as though it's real, and then you're going to get offended when somebody says, where you buy that knockoff at? That's how it is with you using
Say, but you
words
know
that
what?
you hear,
Have a
pretending
bite.
that you're living it. Don't lie to yourself. No te engañe. Let that be something going forward. Stop lying to yourself. If you're gonna have the pie, have the pie. Don't say, oh, I'm gonna have it and then tomorrow I'm gonna start this. Don't lie to yourself. If you're gonna have that pie, eat that piece of pie, enjoy it. Let it be magically orgasmic on your palate so that when you swallow it, you're feeling enlightened. Don't lie to yourself, because now you're tricking your mind, you're tricking your body, and then at the end you're gonna feel nauseous because there's just too much bullshit going on with every bite you're taking. Enjoy it. Be fully present and enjoying it. And then tomorrow, if you're gonna walk an extra hour, then walk an extra hour. But stop
And
lying
don't
to yourself and then getting mad at other people, because that's
and,
why a lot of people are having issues. You lie to yourself, then you get all bitter, and then you look at Lori and you're like, ugh, I hate when she says that or how she says that. That's what I'm talking about.
why me? What about you?
I'm just, because you're the only one I'm looking at right now. So you know what? It's eat the pie. Yeah, then take a walk with your guests. Absolutely. That's what I'm saying. And if it's late, and then you do it tomorrow, because you can do it, because your legs are working fine, because your body wants you to take that walk. Love yourself in totality. Love yourself through it all. Love it. If you got the little extra chicho, what is it, the fupa? Love yourself. If your tits are hanging a little more, bitch, we getting old. It's called gravity. Get a bra. Don't get the wire ones.
It's
Or
a, a,
go ahead.
again, it's all about you being you. Like, don't, if you're gonna eat the pie and then tomorrow go, the next day go, oh, I shouldn't eat the pie, I feel like crap. Sit with it for a minute before you shove it down your throat and say, is this really what I want? Like, I know it's going to taste good, but if it's really going to make me feel like shit tomorrow, do I really want to eat this? And if you say yes, then like Gladiator Guru says, you own it and you enjoy it, and then maybe do something about it later in the day. Take a walk. But don't do this repetitive thing where you and this isn't just about pie. This is about anything in your life. You
Yeah.
do it because it feels good at that moment. You think it's the right thing to do. It's just giving you what you need at that moment in time. And then the next day you beat yourself up to say, oh, I shouldn't have done that, and blah blah blah. You need to step in, and you know what, sometimes it is okay for you to just go, you know what, I really don't need the pie because it's going to make me feel like shit. And anybody around you that says, oh, just have the pie, then you come back and you step it back again, and
But
you
feel like shit how? Feel like shit how?
you
Because you
mean
might
like,
gain weight. You might
no,
die
no, I
tomorrow.
mean your health. I'm saying if it gives you
Yeah,
a
if
stomach
you know that
issue,
it's something's gonna make you feel sick, don't. If that extra glass of wine is gonna make you sleepy and you have somewhere, don't do anything that's gonna harm you. But don't not eat anything because you might gain the pound or not. Because look at what Leanne says. I agree with her so much. It's never too late to turn on dance music and dance if it's too dark outside. That's what I'm saying. Whether it's eating the piece of pie, whether it's having that glass of wine, whether it's having that quickie with the person you love. So what? Where you're at, what you're doing. What I'm saying is, life is short, but it is the longest journey you will live. So choose wisely, choose for you. And she's right. Somebody says, oh, just eat it. Just eat it. You know you want it. But you know, it's not going to sit well. You're going to be nauseous later. You're going to be bloated. You might get the runs. Whatever it is your situation is, if you eat that extra something or drink that extra glass of something, you know who you are. So
yeah,
stick to what you know about yourself. That's loving yourself, honoring yourself. Don't have it if it's going to make you feel bad. But if you're not going to have the extra glass of wine because it has X amount of calories, or you're not going to have the extra pie because you know what? Have half of it then. If you really want it, but you know it's going to do this, or you had too much to eat, then have half of it. And then walk a little more the next day, or turn on some music and dance. What I'm saying is, be true to who you are. Hold yourself accountable, but
yeah,
don't deny yourself anything.
yes,
Anything that's not going to harm you, just because you might gain weight or you might look like this, don't deny yourself anything.
that's
Because you know what?
it.
I have
It's
gained about 20 pounds back from my self isolation. And I look in the mirror, and yeah, I'm not happy with what I see. but I'm so in love with me that it doesn't make me mad at myself because I didn't gain it because I overate. I gained it because I self isolated and I barely exercised and I didn't go out the house for 3 months. I did dance and I did do my yoga. But in order to heal one thing, like anything, I was healing my insides, and now I have to remind my body, who's always served as my shield of protection, to let go of the pain that it got, that it received through other people or through myself. And it's happening and it's working, and I'm loving myself. So that's why we want to tell you today is, are you ready for the holidays? Think about it. Write it down. If you're not, then start with self-love. Start with self acceptance. Start with holding yourself accountable. That way, nobody else's issues is going to even put a dent in your fender because it's all about you taking care of you and being grateful for those around you. Whether you like them or not, be grateful. They're smiling. Their smile adds another smile to somebody you love. And then you're smiling. And guess what? We're spreading smiles all over the place. Life is just that. We're not going to always be happy, be in the right place, be surrounded by the people we love. But if we are the center of who we are, then those people that we dislike don't matter. Go ahead, Laura.
Think about it this way. If you are ready to be you, fully 100% you, in love with you, with all your flaws, with all your fabulousness, and you look at it and you say, I'm good, I'm working on myself, and I am loving my life. I love who I am. I love who I am today. I love who I can be, and I'm just going to keep doing it and moving forward. You already have you've met the most challenging piece, because as you come into the holidays, you're coming in with absolute control of self. Like, if you, this is why you have to sit with this. You have to sit and check in with yourself, because if in the past you have run up all your bills, got lost sleep because you had to be the one entertaining and doing all the cooking, you're worried about who's coming, sending out this, doing that, you've got to hone it in and say, okay, if this is that important to me, if I really want to be that person and do all the cooking and do all these things, how can I do it better so that I am not stressed, that I am not ending my year or starting my next year like on with no gas in my tank. And not only there's no gas in my tank, but I went so far to the that I pulled up all that cruddy shit that stays at the bottom of the tank, and now it's floating around through my system and I feel like crap. You have to sit there and really think it through. I sat there and I sat with, so we were talking about your daughter, your kids, and I sat and I said to my youngest one, I'm like, look, uh, I don't have a problem spending money for the holidays. I said, but it's time for us to walk away from all that little crap that you want all the time, all those little toys that you're only going to play with, whatever. Like, if we're going to get stuff for you, I want to get stuff that you're going to use, stuff that even if it's a little bit more money, I'll figure it out. And even if it's a little more money, I will, but as long as it is something that's necessary in your life at this point in time. And with my youngest is, she's chubby and I need her to be more physically active. So she's into gymnastics, and we have a whole gymnastics like setup for her downstairs. But there's a couple of pieces that we can add. They are a little on the expensive side. So I said to her, we could add those, but that's going to be it. Like, that's all you're going to get. Are you okay with the idea of not opening a lot of little presents and things like that and at Christmas? And we just sat with it for a little bit. And she said, yeah. And I said, are you sure? Because I know it's really special to do that. And she stopped and she said, yeah. And here's the interesting thing. This is knowing thyself, right? This is knowing, are you ready to be who you are? Having that conversation with her, knowing what's important to me and expressing it to her is my thing. Her taking it in, understanding where I'm coming from, and then also being able to express how she feels is important. That's her being her. The only one who has a problem with this is her dad. Her dad can't put his head around this. She has to open up presents. She has to have all these things in the morning. She has to wake up to these things. He's the one that has issue with this because he's coming from who he is, from that place of lack, from that place of where he grew up not having a lot of stuff. But he needs to get past that because he does not need to push his agenda on her. Now, if my little one said, well, I would really rather have all the little presents, then we would have to regroup and say, okay, then if you want all those little presents, you put all that on your list, but you don't get that other stuff because that's it's not going to be both. Like it's not going to be both. And she comes up with the decision herself because it's her. And I've never been that person before. I was the person who loved to buy gifts, who loved to buy a whole bunch of crap to just make them feel like this whole big special thing. You know what? I think being special, and Deneen said it before, or Danessa said it before, sorry, that it's buying memories. They're not going to remember all the toys. They're going to remember the memories. They're going to remember the places. Maybe they will remember a toy if it was really particularly special and it was, but you don't have to get 10 toys. You get 2 toys. We're so
Well,
hell bent on fulfilling what we're lacking and then putting it onto the
Well,
children.
if you do studies, it'll prove that parents buy their kids. Oh, my kids, they prefer this, and buys it for them because it makes them feel fulfilled. It's not so much for the child. Of course, the child's going to be happy to open 20 gifts as opposed to 3. But why does the parent feel the need to constantly buy and make sure they have all this? You said it could be a lack from their childhood, but it's also to make the parent feel good. Maybe they're not there enough. Maybe they're working too much, or maybe that's their way of one of their 5 love languages, gifting. I mean, it could be
Yes.
many different things. A kid's gonna always will always receive opening more presents than not. You having a conversation prior with her about it, what's important, but if she still wants that, that was good because it's gonna make her think. And your daughter's very bright and smart. But yeah, it's like I was talking about when Danessa wrote that even at work, I have people like, oh, you're gonna work a double? No, and my boss is like, oh, you don't want to work a double? I said, no. And my coworker said yesterday, but it's more money. I said, I'd rather make memories like me cuddling up on the couch, watching a great movie, or writing, which is what I've been doing every morning. And that's what I want. I'd rather have those memories. And let me tell you, kids will remember moments and more so than gifts. So it really is up to you. And we're talking about, are you ready to prepare yourself to receive the best that you can possibly receive, the best that you set your intentions out there to get? Are you ready? Be ready. But it's like, has anybody ever bought a whole new comforter set for their bedroom? Make you say yes or just make a mark on it. If you have, but you cleaned out your closets and you knew you were going to buy this comforter set, but you took everything out your closets. You have all your shoes thrown all over the bedroom floor because you got to pick which ones you're going to keep so that you can put them away, hang up the clothes you're going to keep. But guess what happens? You cannot make that bed to really make that comforter, brand new comforter set, pop until you clean your room, until you organize, okay, which shoes am I keeping, throwing that out, organizing my closet. Everything's out of your closet and out of your dressers, but you still have this new comforter. But now you still got to clean up that mess before that comforter set that you put up there. It's going to make you feel all warm and fuzzy because you love it, because you bought the right one for the room. That's your life. So before you can be ready to really accept new things into your life, hold yourself accountable to what didn't happen this year, what you still have time to accomplish, what you're going to scratch off your list that you don't want to bring into your new year. Prep so that we don't have to continue looking in our rearview mirror as to what we did wrong. Hindsight is our frenemy. Let's prep so that coming into this new year, we have a better grasp on the idea we want instead of all the bullshit that we try to cover up with just buying new things to put on that bed instead of cleaning all the surrounding areas. Clean up your mess. Because no matter who caused you to do it, it was you still held on to it. Clean up your mess with people, places, and things, and then open up your spirit to live the life that you want to live this coming year. Clean it up.
Yes. Are you ready?
Now,
Are you
Stephanie,
ready to do it?
Tiffany wrote something. Tiffany, I am so proud of you that you bought
Yes.
those plane tickets, because you're right. It's like I just said, life is short, but it is the longest journey you will live. So let's choose wisely. And so what? I am going to live wisely. The badass Buddha said, I'm going to put out another book. She's already planning for the next book, and this one isn't out. That's what you do. You plan because you have it. You set it aside while you're working on the current one. Let's stop wasting time on shoulda, coulda, woulda. If you fucked up in the past, you fucked up. Accept it.
Yes.
And let's
Yes.
move forward.
Yes.
That's the reality of life. Stop
Yep.
with this, oh yeah, but if I would have done
Redirect.
this, and I wouldn't be here now. You're here. You're
Redirect.
here.
Yes.
You can't go
Redirect.
back, and you can't go forward. You're here. So
That's right.
live your here.
You're in
And then deal with
charge.
tomorrow. But
That's right.
stop with the, I don't know, maybe I should have did this, and just stop. You know what?
Or I'll do it next time.
If
Or
I didn't
next year.
self-isolate to self-heal, I wouldn't have gained some of this weight. So what am I going to say? Be mad at myself that I gained this weight? I shouldn't have done that and not self-heal? Fuck out of here. Whoever looks at me and says I'm fat, that's their issue, not mine. I'm loving it. Watch it jiggle, feel it wiggle. It's mine. I'm owning it, because in order to gain one thing, you got to lose another. That's the balance of life. So guess what? I gained a certain healing, removed a lot of trauma, a lot of embedded pain. I let go of a lot of anger. And you know what? My body was making room for me to remove that. So my body was going through its own turmoil when I'm ripping out all this stuff that I no longer needed. Now it's in a phase of, what do I do now? Because it was always on duty. It's like, you know, those guys that sit outside the palace. They don't smile, they don't talk, they just stand there, rain, snow, sleet, whatever. That's what our body is to us, our protector. So when you do things to it, don't criticize it. Move forward, dance in your house, do your yoga, go out walking, do whatever you got to do. But do it because it's something you want to do. And then that flows out into your kids. Your insecurities become your children's insecurities. And then you get mad at them because they're going through something again. You know what? Do better for you so that you can have the tribe you want. There was some, I know we got to go because my niece is over here telling me we got to go. But there was something else, because cuddling in the couch with Margarita Chapman is a special moment. The kids remember that forever. My kids too. Yeah, because I don't like to cuddle. PD always wants to cuddle. Like, oh my God, it's like nails on a chalkboard for me. So I don't remember that, maybe because I hated that moment, but I'm happy they have a good memory of it. And Tiffany, I'm loving you. Having to be thankful, grateful. My dumb job is calling. So yes, I hope we gave you the best information. Badass Buddha was really happy for today's thing. Any last moments, Badass Buddha? Last words?
Just take that time for yourself before it gets crazy and before the 6 weeks pass way too quickly. Take that time for yourself, please, for the love of God. Just give yourself that space to just reflect. You can make changes. If you say, you know what, I don't feel like hosting Thanksgiving and it's 2 days away, then you make that announcement. Don't say I feel obligated because I already told people. Just say, you know what, I'm not doing it. You decide. This is your life. You only get one chance, and it's not up to you to be there and make something happen.
Stop being Captain Save-A-Ho. Right?
That's right.
Stop being Captain. Right. If you wake up on Thanksgiving morning and your back hurts, or you got a headache, or you got this sudden urge to go 3 states over to visit somebody. But oh my God, but I have people coming over. Call, listen, send the group chat, do whatever the hell you got to do it. Listen, why? What happened? Because I don't feel like doing it. I'm sorry.
Yep.
That's it. Because guess what? They're going to find a place to go. But
They
if
always
you
do.
continue to go on with your plans, even though you don't want to, you're going to be miserable. You're going to always
Yep.
reflect back on this Thanksgiving and you're going to hate it. And then everything they do is going to bother you. Oh, look at her. She laughs so damn loud. Look at he's such a pig, always taking extra helpings. You're going to find all the ugliness in it. But thank you for bringing that up. If you don't want to do it, damn it, don't do it. That's
Yep.
holding yourself accountable to yourself. That's
And that's
loving
setting
yourself, even in the
and
darkness.
and that's setting the stage for what's to come. So that's why you have to reflect. You have to look back at what your year was like, and you have to think about the next 6 weeks, and then you have to look for 2023. Change starts today. And then when you say no more, no mas, then no more. So that's how we end it. So Thursday we are going to Day of Gratitude. Come join us while, if you are deciding to host or do anything, if you're going to be cooking, join us while you cook, and we will be talking about everything that we're grateful for, and we'll talk about our reflection of this year so far. So thanks everybody for coming on. We appreciate it. And from the Badass Buddha, remember, be you, be real, and be extraordinary.
And from the Gladiator Guru, mi gente, remember to breathe in the beauty
Mm.
and breathe out the bullshit. Namaste.